Hi guys, it's me, and this isn't the way that I had planned on originally doing my meal planning video for you guys, but unfortunately, I ran out of daylight, and as you can see, like, I look like a mess because I just woke up from a late nap. I fell asleep when Kai fell asleep. But it's Sunday, and we always do our grocery shopping on Sunday, and I have my list set up, so I wanted to show you guys before John comes and picks us up to go grocery shopping. Usually John and I go during the day, but today we had other plans. He had to help a friend with some computer stuff, so we are going to go after we pick up Ava from her dad's. So what I usually do... Hi. What I usually do is I make a list out, and I try to stay as strict to my list, because if I get off track, then like I end up spending way too much money, or we just like we waste food. So like I said, please excuse the chicken scratch, but first I plan out my meals for the day, or for the week. So I do usually Monday through Friday, because usually on Saturdays we end up eating with my parents, or one of these days we eat with my parents or go out unexpectedly. And so that way, if I have 5 days, then I don't have any wasted food for the weekend. So Monday I have corn moussaka, Tuesday I have barbecue chicken, crock pot barbecue chicken, Wednesday shepherd's pie, Thursday chicken chili, and then Friday crock pot mac and cheese and broccoli. I'll also have some vegetables for these sides, like broccoli and carrots and corn and stuff, but I don't usually add them. So I think of my list first. Usually I think of either easy things, or I go online and look for stuff, or I search through my cookbooks. This is kind of like we're trying to save this week because Ava's birthday's this weekend, so we're going to be spending quite a bit of money on that. So I picked some cheap meals. And then I write out my list. I always write out my list in the order of our grocery store aisles, so that way if I have to send it to John, he easily knows. And I like it that way, so that way it's just more convenient for me. So I start at one end of the grocery store, and then I make my way to the other end. So literally all of these things are in order of the aisles that I will find them in, heading from one side of the store to the other. John really loves it when I do this, and it makes our trip so much faster, especially with 2 kids. So after I think of the 5 meals, then I just, go through each meal. So for corn moussaka, I'm going to need 1 pound of ground beef. So added up, it's 3 pounds. I just write down my list of what I need for each meal. I don't usually add a whole lot of extras. Like after I have all of my meals, like the list of ingredients for the meal put down, then I go move on and do like milk or stuff for Ava's lunches for the school week. And for lunches for me and the kids that stay at home, we usually just eat the leftovers from the day before, because obviously these meals all feed 4 to 6 adults, and there's only John and I plus the 2 kids, and they don't eat too much. And then when Ava's at home on Monday, Wednesdays, and some other Friday, she's a mouth to feed too, but she doesn't eat as much either. So we always have leftovers, so that's always what we eat for lunch the next day. So 5 dinners usually gets us through the whole week. If it doesn't, then we eat out one day, like we splurge, or, that's a day where I basically go through all my pantries and my cupboards and I say, okay, what can I make out of just the stuff we have? And then it's kind of a way to get rid of just like stuff before it goes bad. So that is how I meal plan. I don't have like an exact, like this is I don't plan out more than a week. I just don't, because stuff happens. When our kids were in the emergency room and stuff, it was really hard and stressful to also deal with cooking and them and all of that. So, we didn't really do grocery shopping or do cook meals then. So like I said, I like to plan out 5 days, and the way that I find my recipes is usually I go through my cookbooks, or I go online, or I go just through old recipes that I have in my head. And like I said, sometimes I'll do a day where it's just I'll splurge and do something really fancy, or like this week, since I'm already tired and it's only Sunday, my eyebrow looks funky since it's only Sunday. I know that this week is going to be a long week and John's been working a lot, so I picked really easy quick meals and really cheap meals, so that way, I don't know. So that is how I do it. There's nothing exciting about my meal planning. I apologize if you guys are looking for more help than that. I just always make it a habit of just sticking to a routine. Sundays, or when I spend the day, I actually sometimes spend the day on Saturday thinking of these meals too, but Saturday and Sunday I think of the meals, and then Sunday I put the list together. I write out all my meals at the top of the paper. I still use paper and pen. I'm so old school. I love paper and pen because I know exactly, like, I can, like, see it. Like, my iPhone is just complicated because then you have to, like, delete and, like, I don't know. Something about paper and pen is just really comforting to me. So I write all my meals at the top, all of the ingredients that I'll need for all of the meals in the order of where I'll find them in the grocery store, and then I add on any other things that I need, like creamer, lunches, and stuff like that. So that is how I meal plan. And it works really well for us, you know. I always make sure that if I'm using any like vegetables or meats that I know are going to go bad quicker, I use those meals towards the beginning of the week. And then like the crock-pot macaroni cheese uses stuff that will last for 2 weeks, the ingredients. So if I don't end up needing to make it this week, then I'll have it for the following week. Or, you know, since it is 5 days out, I know it won't expire, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you'll get chicken that was only good for 2 days or something like that, and then you'll want to make that before it expires. So also when you're at the grocery store, I always tend to pull from the furthest back in like meat and all of that, or if I'm getting bananas or vegetables that I know I'm not going to use right away, I make sure to get them extra unripe so that they, you know, can ripen over time and not go bad. But yeah, that's basically it. So I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm really boring. There's not like a huge routine. I don't have like a dry erase board or a chalkboard like I've seen on Pinterest. I just, every Sunday, it's just become a routine that I look for recipes really quickly. I put them down on a piece of paper and then I write out the ingredients, and then we go shopping either as a family or I go by myself or I send John. So I gotta let you go because Kaya is getting really upset. I will take you to the grocery store a little bit since this video is kind of boring. You need bananas, you need apples. You like apples, right, Ava? Alright, so now we need to go get canned vegetables. There's my helper. 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Awesome.
I don't like mushrooms.
That's gonna be for the shepherd's pie that I'm making. What? What's that look? You like the shepherd's pie.
That was in shepherd's pie?
Yes, cream of mushroom. You don't like mushrooms?
No.
Oh, well, they're good for you. Okay, so we are home. That took about, I don't know, like an hour. It was really nice not having the little kids. This is everything that I got. And our kitchen's a little messy, so pardon that. But yeah, I didn't have to use any disposables. And I ended up picking up some sushi for John and I for dinner. What really upsets me, it doesn't really upset me, I'm over exaggerating, but this is annoying. So I have all these bags. Part of the way that I do my groceries is I put all of my like meats, like my ground beef, my chicken and stuff in this thermal, huge reusable bag. And I zip it up because the meat department is at the beginning of the store. So I put it in there so it stays cold for the rest of my trip through. I then empty out the cold meat and all of like my yogurts and cottage cheese and my stuff like that, the cold products. I put that all at the beginning of the conveyor belt, and then I put my bag in front of that so that the bagger lady or whoever is there can put all my cold stuff back into that bag. This is what the girl did. And again, I'm not mad, but it just seems so silly to me. She put the bag aside and then put all of the meat products in one of my regular reusable bags, didn't use that bag at all, and then at the end was like, oh, I don't want to make you have an extra bag if you don't have to. So she started shoving my Tostitos chips into other bags and shoving them down and breaking them so that they would fit in the other bags to save me one more bag. But then she realized she couldn't put my eggs anywhere, so she put my eggs in that bag. So this huge thermal reusable bag, this huge bag, has 1 carton of eggs in it instead of all of my meat products, my yogurt, and my cheese like I had like divided out and planned. I don't understand it. So I don't know. There's a whole process that I usually do when I go grocery shopping, and it's really frustrating when that process like gets knocked off. Especially because she broke my chips. Like, what was the point of that? I finally told her, I was like, you can use another bag. That's why I brought all these bags. So we're home. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier because I'm just so like scattered right now. But like I mentioned, one of the meals that I always put in my week of meals is always something that uses ingredients that can easily be like say my mom and dad invite us out for dinner, or somebody else invites us out for dinner, or plans change. I always plan for one meal to be a meal that we can move to the next week, like it doesn't go bad. So like I said, the macaroni The noodles aren't going to go bad. The cheese stays good for weeks. So does the milk that's going to be used in it. So I always have one meal that is flexible to be used at the end of the week, like on a weekend or the following week. So just to put that out there. But that is it. That was our shopping experience. That was our weird bagging experience. And now I'm going to go put all of my groceries away. Today is Monday, and Monday is the corn moussaka, which I couldn't find drained cottage cheese with chives. So I just used regular cottage cheese. It works the same. You can't see it, but there's corn at the bottom with ground beef seasoned with garlic, salt, and cinnamon. And then on top there is the cottage cheese, mozzarella, parmesan, and 2 eggs. And then over here is just steamed broccoli. And that will be the dinner for tonight. And there will be enough leftovers for me and Wyatt and Kaya for lunch tomorrow. Okay, so this is Tuesday, and we have green beans. The lighting makes it look funny, but it actually looks really appetizing, but this is just really bad lighting. We have green beans with garlic, a little bit of oil, and salt and pepper. Then we have mashed potatoes, and then we have barbecued chicken, which I did in the crock pot with some onions, and then I also put the sauce that I made on top of my mashed potatoes because that's how I like it. So this is Tuesday's meal. Okay, so today is Wednesday, and I made shepherd's pie. This is kind of a variant of the shepherd's pie. John, get your fingers out of there.
Daddy,
Do you hear what? So I usually use this larger bowl because John likes mashed potatoes, so I use twice as much mashed potatoes, and I also add green beans and corn and onion as well. Get your fingers out of here. So we're going to have this and then just cold cut carrots because I figure there's green beans, onion, and corn in here, so that's enough vegetables, and that is Wednesday's meal. And there's tons here, and it will last till tomorrow. Okay, so today is Thursday, and we are having cream cheese chicken chili. The recipe for this is on my blog. I'll leave a link for that underneath here. Usually I serve this with avocado and cilantro, but the avocados did not look so good at the store, either did the cilantro. So instead, I'm just going to eat it plain with Tostitos scoops. It's really good plain. For Wyatt, I and Kaya usually make some Mexican-style cheese and then also some sour cream because it's a little bit on the spicy side, so that kind of makes it more mild for him. So this is Thursday's dinner. So it is Saturday, and I don't have a meal to show you guys because we have had a hectic day. We ended up doing a bunch of errands, and yeah, I didn't end up cooking any dinner because I didn't know where we would be at. Like I told you, I only plan for 5 days of meals at a time because usually on Saturdays we eat out or we do something where we are going to do macaroni and cheese for the kids, and I'm going to eat leftovers, and so is John. From just what we have left over from the week for today. Yesterday we actually, on Friday, I didn't have a meal to show you guys because we took Ava out for her birthday, but I did plan for a meal that day, and like I said, I always keep a meal that, you know, if I have to bump it to next week, still stays good. And what that would have been the crock pot homemade macaroni and cheese and broccoli, which all of those ingredients can stay good for next week's meal. So that is how I meal plan. That is my meal planning video. I'm sorry if it's not what you expected, but that's just what works for our family. I should mention that with everything that I purchased at the store for a full week of food, and then incidentals, including incidentals like ketchup and soy sauce and sushi and John's drinks, and I think I bought a few other things that weren't part of my meal planning, but including everything on our grocery shopping trip or whatever, it was $200. So that's usually what we spend a week for groceries to feed everybody. That's including Ava's lunches and stuff, and that's not including eating out because we try not to eat out. Unless it's like a special occasion like yesterday for Ava's birthday. So that is our meal planning. That's how it works. That's what I do, and I hope this is helpful to some of you. Like I said, there's not a specific one place where I go to look for recipes. I check out Pinterest. I check out my cookbooks. I check out anything. And in regards to what kind of meals we eat every week, it depends on how I'm feeling. Like when I'm PMSing, like this week, I really wanted some like comfort foods, which is why all of them were like mashed potatoes and casseroles and stuff like that. I do want to start eating a little bit healthier though, so next week might be like lighter meals. But again, it's always different, and I always plan on Sundays, so that is that. So I'm sorry that you didn't get to see a Friday or a Saturday meal, but yeah, that was our meal planning, so I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!